Of course, we have here Jaboy, J.D. Salinger, Franny and Zoe. But before that, I hope you don't mind this, but I'm just gonna have a little thin cigar here, and I'm gonna do this review with a little cigar, and hope you don't mind. This will only take a second. All right. Now, there's a reason why Salinger is Jaboy. Okay. He is special because in his writing he can create actual people, which means he doesn't create characters. He creates people that you can relate to, that you are fond of, and people that you want to be friends with. That is very important. Okay, that is a talent that most writers don't possess. You want to be friends with Salinger's characters, and you want to be involved in their lives. You want to talk to these people. You feel comfortable that they will understand you, right? You'll feel safe with them. They won't make fun of you, right? And so on. Oh, the cigar is pretty good actually. It's a thin cigar, a Brazilian, right? It's pretty good. Anyway, back to the book. Um, Franny and Zoe. Listen, um, this is a wonderful story. Uh, it sucks you in. You are among these people, all right? Everything they say, everything they do, you just want to be a part of, okay? And herein lies Salinger's genius, okay? He can take any banal scene and just write it in such a way that will be interesting. It will be captivating, okay? Um, the writing's pretty good. The characters are pretty unique. They stand out. The story, on the other hand, and I mean the plot points where we start at, where we go in the middle part, right, and where we go, where we arrive, right. It's not that solid, but it doesn't have to be, right, because this is about the struggles of these two protagonists, if you want, Franny and Zoe, right. So the what do you want to call it? The problem, the subject that this book tackles is we're dealing with the Glass family. The Glass family that um, has about, I think, five children, and uh, wouldn't you know it, all of these children, they're all geniuses, right? All of them are geniuses, and they all take part in this radio show where they're asked these questions, and they have all the answers. Ergo, these kids are smart, right? And it was very popular at the time. But they grew up. They were fed up with the whole, being a sort of toy, a sort of puppet for the amusement of adults and people everywhere, right? So they grow up, and this is a little mention here. Uh, it helps if you have previously read a perfect day for banana fish because um, one of the genius children of the Glass family was Seymour Glass. And he, of course, in A Perfect Day for Banana Fish, has committed suicide. And let me tell you, that story is just so perfect in its subtlety and ambiguity, right? You just don't suspect this. I mean, it's just some guy on the beach talking to this kid and then going to his hotel room and just blowing his brains out next to his sleeping wife, right? I mean, it was a doozy, but good, right? So Franny and Zoe are the brother and sister of Seymour Glass, who committed suicide, right? And I think one brother died in the war. Um, I think another died in some stupid accident, which is a shame. But even though the other siblings aren't in here, they're just mentioned sort of superficially on the surface, right? Even if they are just mentioned here and there, Salinger does this so great that you just want to know more about them, right? That's where his genius lies. He can just mention somebody and you already want to be friends with them. You just want to talk to them, have a cigar, have a drink, and just talk to these people. That's Salinger's unique talent, if I would say it. Um, and then the core issue in this little thin book is you have um, you have Franny here. I think Franny is the girl, right? And Zoe is the dude. Um, Franny has read a book about a monk, right? And this is all about spirituality, religion, meditation, etc. And she is upset because I don't know. I don't really get why she's so upset, and she has this crisis. I mean, she won't leave the bed. She won't eat. She cries. She's depressed, and so on, right? And this is a book that all of the Glass children have read, and this is a favorite book of Seymour Glass. And because the younger children here, Franny and Zoe, they kind of looked up to him, so they just wanted to be just like him. So they read the book, and the elder siblings, Seymour and what's his name? I forgot his name. They sort of educated Franny and Zoe in a sort of philosophy and so on, right? So this book, this is just me, but I don't get this. Why is such a big deal? And of course, I'm talking about the book with the monk, not Franny and Zoe, but the book that the Glass children have read, which affected Franny in such a way that she won't leave the bed, she won't eat, and it's just it's a cute little story. I get it, right? But I can't take it seriously, right? The fact that she's so in the pits, so low because of this little book and so on, I'm just like, listen, bro. I would have sat her down and just explained to her. I mean, bro, listen, you're so young, bro. I mean, she's like 19, 20, just starting out. So is Zoe. Maybe he's a bit older, like 23, I think, or 25. Listen, bro. Listen, you're too young. You're too young. Listen. And the fact that you're affected by this little book about a monk, I mean, I mean, you gotta question all your spirituality and religion and think about it. But I mean, that's not the kind of book that you should pour your soul into and just be so affected by it, right? You'll get older, you'll get over it, right? That's what I would tell Franny, right? So throughout this book, Franny won't leave her bed. So Zoe, prompted by their mother, I forgot her name, who wears this kimono, and in the pockets she has everything, every tool, cigarettes, I mean screwdriver. She has everything in those pockets, and the descriptions are hilarious, right? They're hilarious. So Zoe tries to like talk to her, but he is, he is sort of a he's a spoiled brat, right? And I think all of these children are spoiled brats. They take themselves too seriously, and of course they are this way because they were, in a way, child stars, in this radio show, and everybody kept telling them how smart and great and unique they are, right? And they sort of believed it, and as they grew up, they sort of realized, guess what? We're not that great, but they still have this inkling of this inkling of, yeah, we're better than most people. We're on a higher pedestal in a way, right? So they're a bit bratty, a bit spoiled in a way, right? So Zoe, he kind of tries to talk with her, you know, but he also kind of pokes fun at her, which of course ruins his attempt at, kind of cheering her up, which is, I don't know, it's kind of a dick move, bro. So in the end here, Zoe doesn't succeed, right? Franny, turns around, puts the sheets on, and she's just depressed. So Zoe uh, goes into the other room, and he impersonates one of their older brothers, right? We got Seymour, who was the eldest, who killed himself, and then we have the next brother, who is the oldest, and he impersonates that brother, and he calls Franny from the other room, and he tries to talk to her, right? He mimics his mannerisms and way of talking and etc. And Franny kind of believes it, right? And she keeps saying she wants to talk to Seymour, but of course Seymour is gone, right? He's gone, and somebody uh, leave a comment and tell me, because I'm a bit confused, because Franny at the beginning, she believes that Zoe is actually that older brother, but at the same time she suspects that it's Zoe pulling a prank on her, a goof, right? But this ends with Franny believing that Zoe is actually the elder brother, because she smiles at the end and says the prayer. So, uh, please tell me, does Franny believe that Zoe is actually the elder brother, or does she know that it's Zoe and she smiles because, he does this gesture to cheer her up? What's going on here? The ending is a bit confusing, and I don't know what really is the case. But anyway, this is Salinger we're talking about here. Of course, this was the era where, I think it was the 50s or 40s, where the Eastern philosophies and religions were coming on. Right, this is pre hippie, flower power, etc. So Salinger was, of course, very in tune with that kind of thinking, right? And allegedly he kept on writing about this, about stories like this, and of course about the Glass family, which I don't know when they're gonna get published, right? Because this guy, he became a recluse. He never gave interviews and so on. And he wrote for, like, I don't know, 50, 60 years in isolation. So my question is, when are these going to get published, right? Because think about it. I mean, 50, 60 years of just writing, he must have produced like maybe one book a year, like this, or maybe thicker. I'm like, those are a lot of books, boy. And like I said in the Catcher in the Rye review, uh, one rumor is that those stories are going to get published 100 years after his death. So he died in 2013, I think. So they're gonna publish this in 2113. I'm like, bro, I mean, he's he's one of the top writers, but I mean, 100 years, that's just crazy. I mean, who's gonna fucking remember, right? I mean, who knows? This is just me, but um that's about it for this book. I highly recommend it. This is some great writing here. This is material that you will constantly reread. And it's just a joy to read him because, like I said, he has this rare talent that he can get you involved in these people's lives, even though their problems are so little and so meek, right? You still wanna give them advice. You wanna just talk to them and just tell them, listen, bro. Life is not that complicated. Whatever you believe in, whatever you cherish, and what it would all go away in the end. You get older, and then you get older, right? And then you become ill and tired and exhausted, and these things will not bother you. Okay, these little insignificant little problems, like how people view you in society. This is irrelevant garbage, right? But of course, they're young and they had this lifestyle of being these prodigies, and they can handle um, what the simple troubles of the normal life, if you want to call it that, right? But anyway, this is a wonderful book. I highly recommend Salinger, Franny and Zoe. um, but I just want to finish this with a little more talk about Salinger himself, because he became a recluse and he stopped publishing, but he kept on writing, right? So, and the rumor is that he had a bunker, right? And that's where he wrote. And people don't understand why somebody who was so famous would do something like this, who would completely cut off any ties with society and the readers and celebrity lifestyle completely, right? And at first, when I was younger, I didn't really get why somebody of his caliber and talent and reputation would do this, right? But as I got older, listen, I completely understand why he did this. Listen, uh, I became a recluse also. I barely go out and so on because, listen, the reason why people become recluses and why Salinger uh, disappeared almost is because he disappeared from the limelight because it's people. People are the reason. Whenever I see people on the street, I run in the opposite direction. Okay, It's people. It will always be people. Okay, people are troubling. Okay, people are painful to be around, and this is just me. I don't know how Salinger felt, but I don't feel the need to be around people. I'm perfectly fine with just being by myself, reading, enjoying a cigar, a drink, writing, listening to music. You see, I don't have this urge, this desire to be around people constantly. I don't. I have no need whatsoever to be surrounded by people, any people. I don't need it. Simple. I love the solitude. I love the silence. Okay. I can use my time how I want. Time is a privilege. Okay. And I would much rather spend my time reading books, writing books, while listening to music, having a cigar, and so on. Okay. Uh, and that's just how it is, right? I'm not extroverted. I'm not sociable, if you want. And that's fine if you're really outgoing and you like to talk a lot to many people and whatever, that's fine. But, I completely uh, understand and relate to Salinger, why he became a recluse. Because listen, bro, I mean, most people, not everybody, we can't generalize, but still, I mean, most people are they are upsetting. They are selfish, narcissistic, etc. And I will not tolerate being, I don't know, being at the whim of their, I don't know, of their lifestyles. Of their way of being, and just being loud, right? Being loud and being just in the center of attention all the time. That is not me. That is not my character, right? It is far better to be by yourself and just polish whatever talent or skill you have, right? People can be fun, people can be enjoyable, but at the same time, people come and go. People come and go. Listen, to me, people, they don't really care about you, not really. Even the people that you love and trust and believe that they just can't make it without you, I mean, they'll move on. Life moves on. Everybody moves on, even if you die, right? So you don't have to be so intensely uh, implicated in social life, in other people's lives. You just have to follow whatever they tweet about and whatever they write about on Facebook and so on. Fuck celebrities. If you're still paying attention to the news, I don't know what to tell you. That's your mistake, and so on. Whatever. But this is Franny and Zooey by J.D. Salinger, a fantastic book, like always. His work is a treasure, and I highly recommend. This is a book that you have to read, right? All of his books, you have to read them because they're amazing. They're amazing. Simple as that.